Big news for the gig economy in New Zealand. The Supreme Court has just made a landmark decision that could reshape how we think about contract work. For years, Uber has argued that it's just a tech company, a digital platform connecting drivers and riders who form their own business relationships. But the highest court in the country has unanimously disagreed. The court dismissed Uber's appeal, siding with 4 drivers who brought a case against the rideshare giant. The ruling says that these drivers are, in fact, employees. This is a huge deal. It means that, in certain situations, workers who have what looks like a single employer, even if they're called contractors, can argue they are employees. So, how did the court reach this conclusion? Uber's main argument was that it doesn't control its drivers. They said drivers choose their own hours, can work for competitors, and essentially run their own small businesses. But the court looked at the reality of the situation. They said the factors pointing towards employee status, like how integrated the drivers are into Uber's business, and the level of control the company has, outweighed the factors pointing away from it. Think about it from a passenger's perspective. When you book a ride, are you really thinking you're contracting directly with the driver? The court said, probably not. You're using the Uber service. The judges found that Uber engages these drivers to provide passenger transport services, not just connect them to customers. This means the 4 drivers who started this whole legal fight are officially recognized as employees. What does being an employee actually mean in this context? It's the key that unlocks a whole suite of basic rights that many of us take for granted. We're talking about access to minimum wage, guaranteed breaks, paid holidays, sick leave, parental leave, and the right to challenge an unfair dismissal. These are protections that contract workers typically don't get. Uber, as you can imagine, is not happy. The general manager for Uber New Zealand said they were disappointed and that the decision casts significant doubt on contracting arrangements across the country. They pointed out that many Kiwis valued the flexibility of being an independent contractor. Uber argues that this ruling highlights the need for new laws from the government to bring clarity for both businesses and workers. For now, Uber says it will continue to operate as normal, stating that the decision only applies to the 4 drivers involved in the case. However, the implications are massive. This ruling sets a precedent. It could open the door for thousands of other gig workers, not just at Uber, but across various industries, to challenge their employment status. This all comes at a time when the government is already looking at changes to employment law. Their proposed bill aims to increase flexibility, but critics worry it might lead to even more people in low-paid contract roles without basic entitlements like holiday and sick pay. This Supreme Court decision adds a whole new layer to that debate. It is a classic clash between the old rules of employment and the new realities of the gig economy. On one side, you have the promise of flexibility and being your own boss. On the other, the need for basic worker protections and a safety net. This ruling doesn't solve the debate, but it definitely tips the scales. It forces us to ask a tough question. What is the true cost of our cheap rides and fast deliveries, and who is really paying it? This decision will be talked about for a long time to come. What do you think about this ruling? Does it strike the right balance, or does it threaten the flexibility of the gig economy? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you found this informative, please give it a like and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories that matter.